Welcome to ABR Market Watch, your trusted source for daily market updates, insights, and trends shaping the financial landscape. Stay ahead of the curve with us. Subscribe now and let's make smarter investment decisions together. Good day, folks. Let's dive into today's global financial news roundup, taking a look at the latest happenings in the stock markets, corporate announcements, upcoming events, and more. Beginning with the global and Indian markets, we find that the GIFT Nifty opened higher by 0.45%, signaling a positive start for Indian equities. US stock index futures also advanced as geopolitical tensions in the Middle East may ease following a temporary ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Major currencies strengthened against the US dollar, while US Treasury futures fell. The S&P 500 futures were up by 0.5%, with equities opening positively in both Japan and Australia. However, oil prices dropped by up to 6% due to geopolitical concerns over possible retaliation and disruption of global oil trade routes through the Strait of Hormuz. Yet, copper, aluminum, zinc, and lead all posted gains for the day. Moving on to corporate news, several companies are scheduled to hold annual general meetings today, including Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone. KPIT mentioned that the overall business environment continues to be uncertain due to rising geopolitical concerns and ambiguity around the overall tariff scenario, but their pipeline remains strong. Other notable announcements include Clarks partnering with Metro Brands for India and neighboring countries, Adani Electricity Mumbai concluding an open market repurchase of senior secured notes, and Acme Solar commissioning an additional 3.3 megawatts project. As we look ahead to upcoming events, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah is scheduled to preside over the 25th session of the Central Zonal Council in Varanasi today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the centenary commemoration of the historical dialogue between Sri Narayana Guru and Mahatma Gandhi at 11 a.m. in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. Niti Aayog CEO BVR Subramaniam, Statistics Secretary Saurabh Garg, and Niti Aayog Distinguished Fellow Debjani Ghosh will unveil the latest issue of Future Front Quarterly Frontier Tech Insights at 11:30 a.m. in New Delhi. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be the chief guest at the Export-Import Bank of India's trade conclave taking place at 10:30 a.m. in New Delhi. Several stocks were excluded from F&O, while others like Dixon Technologies India, Copran, Maharashtra Seamless, Ultramarine and Pigments saw changes in promoter shareholdings. Several companies are also conducting or planning to conduct initial public offerings, IPOs, including Globe Civil Projects, Ellenberry Industrial Gases, and Kalpataru. In other news, the Indian rupee closed 16 paise weaker against the US dollar on Monday. The yield on the benchmark 10-year government bond ended flat at 6.305%. Now let's shift our focus to some exciting developments within the global finance sector, regulatory changes impacting investment banking, and the surge in digital payments driven by the pandemic. In the realm of investment banking, a focus has been placed on the possible effects of forthcoming regulatory reforms. The European Union's proposed Digital Operational Resilience Act, DORA, is one such change that aims to strengthen operational resilience and cybersecurity within financial institutions. Key points include ensuring digital operational resilience through robust cybersecurity measures, crisis management plans, and regular risk assessments. Financial institutions must implement a risk assessment process, RAP, to identify, classify, and mitigate potential digital risks, and the regulatory update will also require firms to report incidents of disruptions or significant operational risks to regulators. The global pandemic has accelerated the shift towards digital payments, with many countries experiencing a significant increase in cashless transactions. Key observations from this trend include an increase of more than 20 million digital payment users in the United States during the first year of the pandemic, the popularity of contactless payment methods, and the rapid expansion of mobile wallets such as Apple Pay and Google Pay. Digital payment platforms are investing in security measures and expanding their service offerings to cater to the increasing user base. Finally, ExxonMobil has reported its Q1 2023 earnings, revealing a significant improvement compared to the same quarter last year. The company's robust performance is attributed to higher oil and gas production volumes and stronger commodity prices. Net income for Q1 2023 was reported at $5.7 billion, up from $3.9 billion in Q1 2022. Earnings per share stood at $1.48, up from $1.06 in the corresponding quarter last year. Cash flow from operations reached $10.7 billion, a notable growth from $7.6 billion in Q1 2022. The company's oil-equivalent production grew by 4% year-over-year to reach 3.8 million barrels per day. Strong commodity prices contributed to the increased revenue. Brent crude averaged $79 per barrel during Q1 2023, compared to $65 in Q1 2022. The company's downstream business, which includes refining and chemical operations, witnessed a profit of $3.4 billion, up from $2.7 billion in the same period last year. ExxonMobil remains focused on reducing greenhouse gas emissions and has announced plans to lower its methane intensity by at least 25% by 2025. With the global economic recovery underway, ExxonMobil is optimistic about the prospects for the rest of 2023. The company aims to continue capitalizing on opportunities while working diligently to minimize environmental impact. That's all for today's roundup. Stay tuned for more updates as they happen.